Hello, everybody. I'm Sonny Las Vegas. I'm a reseller and I've been doing it for quite some time now. And for today, I'm riding solo. Jimmy got some stuff to do and I'm here taking it away. Anyways, it's nice to be solo at times, but we'll see when Jimmy catches up. He put a lot on his plate here recently after the Boss Reseller Remix, as well as a lot of other people who have lately just ramping up things, trying to make the best of the best of what time they have and can manage. One of the biggest things I've been bothered with lately is comments, private messages, and although I'm open and free to working with people, I'll tell you a little story of what just happened yesterday or the day before. I go to sleep, wake up different times, so it might have even been 2 days ago. So I ended up going to a nice friend's house who had a crazy amount of stuff. It's been one of probably like my favorite sourcing videos that I've had, and a lot of people are really excited about it and like, whoa, you came out with a really good amount of stuff for a really good price. Now, the thing with me and Will, of what I came across, not only him but his items, is that it's not something that happened overnight. Looking back at the messages that him and I have talked to back and forth, I think it's been about 2 years, maybe even longer, that we've been talking, following each other online, being communicating back and forth and building an online relationship. And he felt comfortable enough to invite me over to his place. Hi, Tom and Crystal. Welcome over. So, with that, I believe that's why that hair though. Ray right now is probably rolling, grappling with somebody. He is exercising. I was trying to get him out of here, but maybe next time. Hi, Penny. And what happened was, I do say I'm willing to work with people and get some deals, and I don't like some of the things that happen, but it's all a learning progress, and it's things that I want you as people who have not encountered this before to just think about it and see how maybe you could do things differently, to prevent issues to where you feel a little hurt about it because you're human, you care about things. So I ended up getting some really good items from Will, and I ended up getting some messages from items that I had in that video. One of them, a gentleman was interested in two hats, two script hats, and I knew they were vintage. I just didn't know how valuable they were. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. So coming to find out, when he pinpointed two hats out in an email, I saw that they are actually really rare sports specialties, the pro wool hats, and they are scripted font. These are really good vintage types. Just because they're anything's vintage doesn't mean they're worth as much as other things. And there's a lot of things in play when it comes to it. So I know I could sell one of them for $80 alone off of my platform and off of the people I built of following online. I could easily sell one of them for $80. So I figured, the other one could sell for maybe even more or just a little less. Bottom dollar, $50 each. So I messaged the person and said, hey, I'm going to clean them up and I'll get back to you in the morning. And he messaged again, don't worry about cleaning them. It was already too late. I was already scrubbing these things, being very careful. And I emailed them again. I hate people waiting on me to reply, and I do my best to be prompt at replying to people. It's part of the customer service with any business size that you have and are growing into. So this person, when I said I'll sell them for $80 both plus free shipping, he replied back saying that how dare I have that price when what I paid was for $150 for everything that I got from Will. But I also said in this video, if he didn't watch it or if you didn't watch it, that coming to find out of the things that I got, there was a handful of stuff that's going to probably triple the amount of money that I've spent. And that's not even looking at everything that I got from Will. Even to this day, it's probably been about a week or two, maybe even longer, that I've actually had this, put the video together, and still haven't really looked into it until the guy messaged me about these two hats. So doing that, the person I guess felt offended, but I felt offended for somebody to come in on somebody that I don't know, I've never seen other than from this video. I was very happy that somebody was interested in hats, and how I would take it is like if you've been following me on Instagram, especially like even here recently today, I got a message on Mercari and a person messaged me saying, what's your lowest offer? My immediate reply was, what's your highest offer? And lo and behold, the guy actually messaged me $100, just $40 short of what I originally had. But I'm willing to be open as long as somebody's just straightforward. So with that, the person I after he felt offended and told me he's good, never mind. I still felt some type of way because I felt he could have originally said, "Hey, this is what I'm willing to pay for as they are, no questions asked, and give me an offer," rather than forcing that I paid for something that was, he said, underpaid, but it wasn't. If I feel if Will was to say he wanted more from this haul, that I would have paid him more if he felt that was comfortable for him. And when we all start off at places, we try to see where people are at. And I know in the future I'm gonna owe Will some lunches because there's some valuable stuff that's in there, and just go back and shop from Will again from time to time again. But also bring other people here in the community to see what he has because he is trying to clear space. So there's different factors to why people sell stuff, why people need things gone. Sometimes it's just tired of looking at the same things overs and overs and overs inside your death pile. And for me, that's one thing I'm working on, being organized. But that's what I've been dealing with for the sitting on, and I shouldn't dwell on it, but I'm human, and it made me feel some type of way to open up to you all and let you know that, just because Sunny's always smiling doesn't mean things are always good, but it's a lesson learned. So I did message the person back and said, I exactly that. All these things are a lesson learned for me. For the next time somebody asks, just be more straightforward and not be so, I guess, not in a way passive, but be too optimistic. I think optimistic and being nice can be taken as you're a weak person, and I'm I'm not weak at all. I've done so much for myself as well as for other people, and I don't need to, I guess, highlight what I've done for other people because that's my own pat on the back, my own self glory that keeps me motivated and thriving forward. But have any of you encountered some stuff like this, something that you could relate to? Did you like the way it ended? How did you resolve it? Was it on better terms? I would really like to know because these types of things are also those in the chat and people who see this here later get to learn from and say, you know what, I didn't think about that. Let me go this way with it. Or maybe none of it even matters right now, but when it does, you have something to base it off and say, hey, Sunny Las Vegas, or the Rural Squirrel, or Kathy inside here, or Happy Kitty Tara out in Canada gave some of this advice, and that really held on to me, and I could use it to help me and help other people to where we kind of meet in the middle, even when things don't work out. And that's one of the biggest things when it comes to having your own business is, I guess, finding that middle ground when things don't work out, not to have any malice, any hard feelings, any type of feeling like I don't like that person and I hate all resellers. And that's one of the biggest things that bothers me about reselling is that reselling reselling is one of those things where there's a process to it, and sometimes people take time for granted until it's too late. And I don't have any regrets on what I do, and haven't had any regrets since I started reselling full time for a year now. Just 2 months, a year and 2 months. Last August, this August just passed, I made a year. So it's a lot to learn, especially dealing with people, because the way I was in security and in the military, if you didn't if you didn't respect me, it could be taken in so many different ways. If you didn't listen to your higher ups, if you don't listen to your management, like that was it. But on this case, I am a service to people, and I can have the final say, and I could be stubborn and hard headed and not budge. But I don't feel like that would do any good for me or anybody else if we just stayed stuck in our own ways. Some things are good, some things could, I guess, bend a little and be more open up to things. But I'm still learning a lot, especially about people in the civilian world. I'm still transitioning from the military security into just a regular, what I want to be, a regular civilian where I don't have to deal with people face to face and deal with those type of things. I'd rather do it online than in person. But I hope you all are doing well. Who's a reseller here in the chat, and who is not a reseller? What are your hobbies, even if you are either or one of them? There's some hellos high up in here. So Ray is up training. I called him up. Jimmy has some stuff to do. He said he was going to bounce early, and I said, nope, just do what you need to do. Take care of that. There's always the next time. So you'll see Jimmy again in the future. And also, I'm going to start reaching out to people in advance and see if they want to come in. I have a habit of doing everything last second when it comes to asking people to come over. But it's also topics that I look at that I have in my head that I know who I invite over could like share better information and answer my questions and maybe even yours as well. So that's how I kind of pick out who I want to invite over and who I don't. Stroke of luck. What's up, Stroke of luck? What's up, Sonny? Hope you and your wife are doing well. Lisa Keller, hi. We got Rob here. Roberto. How's it going, sir? Thrifty Lobster. Following each other for years now. Hey, Sonny. Here's Ken to everyone that is not Sonny. And Kristen, I seen her earlier. Kathy Stevenson, hello, welcome in. Ooh, what kind of dog is that? It looks like it has a nice coat. It looks like a big dog too. Is that one dog or two dogs? I think it's two dogs. I think one's laying down. And then Tara here, like I mentioned, out in Canada. Hello, Canadian friends. You can't worry about people who try to make you feel bad. Just know you are the one to source and do the handling. Very true. I just from it, I know next time if I remember that I'm just gonna say, what's your I wouldn't say budget because that just comes off weird. I'm not a business in that way, but maybe come up with better form of words to just say, hey, what are you working with? What's your price of what you want to pay? And base it off of that. Because usually people start low and then know that they could give a little bit. But for this immediate email that I got from the person, he started off with a high and then he brought it down. So his initial email, as simple as I could make it, is hey, you came across some really good stuff and it was amazing, but you underpaid for it. This is what I want. These two hats. So I could see off of that first email where this was going to kind of go, but being optimistic and being a Libra, if you believe in horoscopes, like I do try to find a balance of things and try to work with people, but I don't like the bully typeness of those who have been reselling on eBay when you first start. Almost everybody gets this. You get the scam emails of you have brick and mortar prices. Why are your prices like that? Actually, just go to retail. But at the same time, why would you say that? Keep your mouth shut and go to retail yourself. And if you're online looking at things like I have, obviously you're interested in it and you know the value. So you know it's probably a better deal than trying to go to somewhere that's brick and mortar. Or unless the brick and mortar that you're talking about doesn't even exist in your area, it's just made up in your head somewhere that you know you could find it. But it would be a lot easier just ordering it for those like us resellers who make things available online. And that's part of the service is just making things available to what people don't have in their area, making it convenient. And it goes on both ends. Be a good customer, be a good reseller. And I do believe in that. So a lot of things that I base my stuff off of reselling, I don't just think about myself. I think about other resellers and how this may affect them. Even when things don't work out, I still get positive comments of people that cancel orders and say, hey, they act like they bought the item in a positive comment. And I think that's their way of saying thank you, even though they do thank me in private messages, like thanks for your communication, thank you for canceling. And a little goes a long way to me. So I try to make that float onto if they go to somebody else, even if it doesn't work out between me and that person or persons, other people they may come across, they'll hold on and be like, that person was good. This person's good too. Other than me being just a horrible reseller, they go on to thinking every reseller is a horrible person. And I don't know why that is, but it's one of those mysteries. You're never going to understand people that way. You don't need to justify your price. You paid for gas, you traveled there, you developed a relationship to get the sale, you get to set the price. And that right there, Crystal, everybody, ladies and gents, Crystal is working on her YouTube channel and she's getting better and better. And she also has an amazing hubby, a Sancho. His name is Angel. Amazing guy, amazing couple, amazing family too. And one of the key things from that, Crystal, that I was narrowing down was the developing a relationship between me and Will for him to be happy with what I was offering, because that wasn't just me, this is all that I have. I asked him in the beginning of several things that I came across. I was like, let me just see where he's at. He was like $50. He was like, done. I could have tried to squeeze in the bats if I wanted to be that way to the right. And I had no idea what brands they were until afterwards. He said, are you interested in these bats? And come to find out, I sold one of those bats, one just an inch shorter, a couple of weeks ago for $120. But I didn't see it until I got home when he was handing me everything in the truck. I just put everything in the truck. And when I got home, and I was like, oh man, like I know that alone, that one bat is gonna give me $100, and I'm pretty sure I could make like maybe 100, $200, 150 to $200 off of the hats. But I still had to clean most of them. I have to shape them, and there's a little thing to that. But I'm definitely gonna make some good money off of it with a little bit of work, and I'm still gonna pay it forward to Will. Not only treating them to eat something, but also cash in hand and be like, hey, here, and then bring friends over from here in Vegas to see if they're interested in anything because he was already had it in mind from what he was showing me. Like, hey, your friend, the niche lady, I think she likes glass. I have this stuff for her, and I was like, oh, hold on. I like glass too. I might be interested. But I was thinking that way anyways. I'm very selfless and think about others to where like Angel, Crystal, and everybody, Mikey. I was bringing him up, and he said, "Hey, man, set it up. Let's go. Whenever you're ready, we'll try to work out a schedule and bring them all over at once." So I think that would be a really good haul, especially for what little people saw from that video. It was amazing, amazing stuff that he has, and only went through like three bins, just three bins, because there was so much stuff even in them. What's up, Joe? There it is, Joe Deals. What's up, Joe? Doing good. I hope everybody's doing good. I'm doing better and better every day. Slowly but surely getting organized, cleaning out my stuff. One of the viewers feels like I know her, feels like an auntie. Laura's is like what she say the other day. She commented like, "Shoulda, woulda, coulda. You just need to do it." And I woke up this morning like at 6:30, and I was getting stuff organized, especially like downstairs in the kitchen and living room. I put things here and there, and I'm seeing my clutter starting to add up. And last thing I want my wife to do is to choke me out. And speaking of her, my phone just vibrated, so that means that is her saying she got to work, and that is her with the little cat emoji. It's funny because she doesn't like cats like that. I love you. Not core, more. Sometimes my sausage stubby banana fingers press the wrong buttons. You have the right to get paid for labor. Yeah, I agree. I guess I just feel too much for people and I want to understand, but it helps me when I want to understand, not so much wanting the other person to be like, do you understand me? Do you care? Do you get it? It's not that, maybe a little bit, maybe a little bit, but it's more of me wanting to understand people just to, I guess, communicate next time better for myself to prevent things like that, to where it's just, we gonna work together or not? And I like that and I don't. When I moved here from Hawaii, Hawaii is very laid back, very welcoming, live aloha, you're polite. But when I came here to Vegas, it was like that. It was kind of cut and dry. What do you need? What can I help you with? And it's not hi, hello. There are some people like that, some really good people here, but some things is just too straightforward for me. And I'm more of like getting to know somebody, especially when they're commenting on your page and emailing you. Like it goes hand in hand. So I did block this person. I blocked their comment. It wasn't bad. I blocked their comment on YouTube and I blocked their page and I also blocked their email because I just don't feel like it's going to go anywhere good. I just got that feeling where I needed to block them. Um, they didn't do anything bad other than just give me some weird lip about pricing. What they didn't give me an offer in the first place, and they didn't say, "Well, you're offering this, but would you take it for this?" They didn't, and that's one thing I don't like about reselling is people ask for your bottom price, but they're not offering a price to see where they're at. A reseller since, hey, what's up, Joe? I hope you and Nicole are doing better. I hope you're recovering, as well as everybody else that were at the event and came under the weather. What's up, Kelly? Kelly from Colorado. So, hobbies are biking, hiking, archery, and camping. Oh, yeah. I used to do archery a lot, especially got into bow fishing. That was a lot of fun, especially on a trawling motor with the little tin or aluminum boat. Hitting about probably 60-pound alligator gars and it's just dragging you everywhere. Poor little trolley motor, but that was a lot of fun. I started getting archery because of high school back in Texas. They had a place where even we got to shoot muskets and 9 millimeters, clay shooting, some double barrels, some shotguns. Um, I think, yeah, 9 millimeters and muskets. The musket was by far my most memorable part of that agricultural class. And even yeah, this is how country, where I'm from. Our high school would have, they don't have it to this day anymore, but they would have, it wasn't a rodeo competition, it was a hog tying competition. And they were wild boar hogs, to where you would have them charge you. You step to the side, leap for their back two legs, lift them up as much as possible, and get your partner to bring the little bags, or like a canvas bags, potato sack bags, big ones, and put them inside there, and then drag them across the line. Country, that's me. May not seem like it, but I got some Rust about blood in my genes. Tara said my hobby is baking. Ooh, pies, tarts. I love tarts. Everything bad for your waistline. All you gotta do is find somebody with a bigger waistline, and you'll be like, okay, it's not that bad. Until it gets way too bad. But I love me some custard tarts. There's a place here in Las Vegas called Ping Pang Pow, and you could only imagine that the plates and dishes that people drop, and they're like, what do we come up with for our name? And somebody in the kitchen drops something. They're like, Ping Pang Pow. And they're like, yeah, that's where we're going with the sounds of dishes clashing. And the place is really good. I love that place. We just went there last week again too. Um, Yum. Exactly, yum. Who we got in here? Juan Soriano, part-time reseller. Hobbies are cycling, scrap metal, and go jogging sometimes. I've done scrap metals mostly with my dad when I was younger. We used to go to old Texacos in Texas. They would invite my dad over, and they said, hey, whatever you could clean out, you could scrap it. We don't want anything. And he would always go get the copper line. So we would collect the copper line, super heavy. Copper is heavy. So we'd get these long cables tied up on one end, and for minutes my dad would be sharpening this hook knife. So we'll lift it up, and as soon as we start cutting the plastic, we would just follow through all the way for probably around 20-yard cables, maybe even longer. And then we'll take off the plastic, put them inside these trash can buckets, and then a day or two later we would drive out probably about an hour and a half to San Antonio, um, and recycle them. So that was a lot of fun with the copper. Good times, my dad growing up, for those moments. Other times, not so much, but I'm glad we're over those. And for cycling, I used to ride a bike for the win. I used to be a bike security officer, and I had love riding mountain bikes, and they have all types of terrain there. And at the win, not just outside, inside the tunnels, the ramps, the parking garages, really fun. It's just pretty unique, to where they even asked or offered me to go train with IPEMBA, Mountain Bike Association. I forget what it stands for, but they train the police officers here in Las Vegas how to ride the bikes professionally. And it was a lot of fun. I learned a lot, got a cruise down with probably around 60, maybe even 100 other bike security officers down the Las Vegas Strip. They guided us there, and then they brought us all the way back up to the convention center, is where we're training at. A lot of fun. I've done quite a bit of stuff. Resellers since 2001 on eBay. That's a long time. And that, I like when people say they've been reselling or doing something for a long time, even like marriages. It makes you like, yes, I'm married. I want to be married for 40 years, 50 years. There's a lot of people out there who have long relationships, that are good. And then some are, they're together forever, but they're not good. But I also have some relatives who were forever for about 15 years back in Texas, and everybody just loved them to death. And then all of a sudden, boom, they get a divorce, and everybody was heartbroken. And then a few years later, they got back together. So things are crazy that way. But it just shows the truth, the power of their own love towards one another. It was too much to give up on. They went back together. Oh, I was correct. Not bad for my sore eyes. Captain Stevenson, yes, 2 dog sister, mixed breeds. Can y'all see Tip right there? No, he's no, the camera's too high, but he's like right below this bottom of the camera screen. I'm a Libra too. When was your birthday, Kelly? Happy birthday. Happy belated birthday. Whose birthdays are coming up? That's one thing I want to work on next year is, speaking of birthdays, first, Kelly again, happy birthday. But if y'all follow the ATO flippers, Derek and Jasmine, their son Jeremiah, who I've seen online, they bring him on every now and then on there. And I think when they were live on mine, he he came on at the last few minutes, or it might have been behind the scenes. It's his birthday today. He was 4 years old. So if you do follow ATO Flippers, stop by there and wish them a happy birthday, either on YouTube or on Instagram. Really nice family and hustling, and I love what they're doing, and I wish them a lot of wishes come true. Penny Digman, yes, you were right. I hope I'm right at times. Just trying to get it cheaper. Absolutely. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just throw an offer out. I hate that you have to struggle for an offer, just some money to start off like a baseline. And it doesn't, people don't do it. It's like, I don't understand it. It's just that simple to me. I don't understand why people don't just throw out a number. Like, what are you ashamed about your lowball number rather than throwing it out there and then not hearing what you don't like and then getting mad at that offer that somebody's giving you for an offer you weren't even trying to make available other than an interest of something. You were inquiring about something. It's just odd to me. And your expertise. I appreciate it. We got Cali Reseller Luis. I hope you're doing well, Luis. I hope your daughter's doing well. I know she had asthma and she was dealing with that, and you weren't able to make it to the Boss Reseller Remix. And I did have quite a bit of people saying, "Hey, I thought Luis was coming," and I said, "Hey, man, family first, priorities." I hope you're doing well. What was that? I was online the other day. I was like, "Is Luis going to go on?" So I know you're busy, my friend, and I haven't talked to you for a while. Usually we call every once in a while during lunchtime. So Luis, I hope you're doing well, my brother. Primo. You know what's funny about so it was Luis that started calling me Primo, and then Ray Nashville Flippers was like Primo, and then Cheryl Shiny Squirrel calls me Primo, and Primo means like cousin, cuz. And then now Lizette, Betty Boop, she has two different names online, and she started calling me Primo. So it's kind of cool how there's these little things, that build within the community, like your own little, I guess, pull together. Like, hey, we're a family, and I believe that. There's some really good people here in the community, and for the most part, I have been weeding out some people, folks. It happens. Sometimes it's just negativity is not what I want to see, and I do reach out to some people and say, like, how's everything going? I know you said this, like, where's that coming from? Because I want to know, and maybe I could help, but sometimes you don't need to talk when somebody's venting to them. They just let them know that you're there. But after a while, when it's just negative, 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 and it's starting to soak into your life, that's when you're like, oh, let me close this door for right now, or put this cover up, and let me focus on me and focus on the positive things, because negativity is a big distraction in everybody's world. Agree, Rosie. Absolutely. I had a fun kind of interview podcast with Liz Perfectly yesterday. Doug Snoop Dougie. I got to speak to him at the Boss Reseller Remix for about 5 minutes. And I opened up to him. I felt comfortable with them. And it's something I could do with almost anybody, but depending who I'm talking to, depends on what I'm open to let out, I guess. And he said, "Hey, we usually have these type of um talks and sharing people like myself and others in the community of reselling to the community." So when he did that, and I talked to him about some things, he said, "I think it would be better if you opened up on how I talked to him in that podcast." And it wasn't like it was private, because he told me he was recording me and he had the microphone. So he said if I could come on and yesterday and jump on with their listing party. I like the way Clara says that. And I wish I could have heard her say that myself, but I think she needs to record that, and I just press it. It makes me smile every time. Really good community. Who's not on List Perfectly if you're a reseller, and why? And if you're not on List Perfectly and on something else similar to it, what is it? Because there's a lot of things I don't know about. Jen's addiction, uh, Jen Levy. I was messaging her earlier because I had a question about a message on Poshmark, to where as soon as I got an order, I was already shipping it. It was right next to me, so it was pretty convenient. I have all specific items in a certain place, and I have gloves and certain Hawaiian T-shirts that are here. Not so much like Hawaiian, like floral lays and things like that, but like urban brands. And that was my last one that I had, so it was pretty exciting to have that sold pretty fast, because it's one of those things that unless you know the brand from being from over there, you wouldn't know that that's something to look out for. So Defend Hawaii, you got Farmers Market, Pineapple Clan. So when that came up, I was going to list it, and as soon as within like 15 minutes, I'm already at the post office dropping it off, packed, shipped along with other orders. I shipped the item, and it was like there's an error. You can't do that until 3 minutes or 3 hours have passed. So I didn't understand why, and people were messaging on it. But Jen Levy replied to it and explained why. And it's good to ask questions when you don't know. It may not be like venting or you're trying to cause like some kind of hate continuation of comments because you want people to give attention from you or get attention for you. I really wanted to know why. I didn't understand it. And I was looking at the policies to try to figure it out. But the way she explained it was much easier and much better, especially for somebody like me who has a simple mind and can pass it on because there was a handful of people on there wondering the same thing. And I've been reselling on Poshmark. Although it's been a few months here more actively, I've been on Poshmark for several years. I just haven't been as active. So it was kind of strange to see that pop up out of as much stuff that I've sold already to be new for data coming up to me. That little window or that little alert box type thing. Hi, Faith Robin. Boochin. Got Angel in the house. Sonny's hair is looking fire tonight. Oh, hell yeah. Angel, that was for you. Aye. Who we got up in here? Faith, let's go again. I did archery in high school. Love camping and hiking when I lived near the Smokies in Knoxville. Noise. I need to go out on my bike more. I know earlier two people that I highlighted were they do cycling, and I'm more of like mountain biking. I love the dips and the burns, the hills, the terrains. I like that kind of making my legs burn. And it's really fascinating when you get into bikes with gears. Oh, I rode fixed gear for a while, for probably like 3 years, and it's amazing on your thighs, and you could build up a lot of strength, and you need a lot of strength, especially when you do your own manual braking. But when it comes to bikes with gears and understanding how to take care of your legs the same way and being a proper bike rider, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. There is a method to riding a bike the right way and the wrong way, especially when you got a distance to go to. We got Bobby in the house. Get on up, Bobby. I've been jumping in y'all lives with you and Mike, flipping goodies. Like some of the topics y'all come across, I be listening and lurking as I'm listing, and that's one thing I'm doing a lot more of because you're from Yucatan. Kathy, you've got skills in the wild boars come through the flea market. They're going to turn into chicharrones, and I'm pretty sure people are going to be quick to make some pork rinds as some of those javelinas come in through this area. But I don't think I've ever seen any wild hogs over here in Nevada. I wonder if there is some. There has to be someplace, but not here in Vegas. There's mountain lions, always mountain lions alert on the ring alert. They even make the news at times. People put them up on TikTok and tag the news, and can't stand the news right now. Sonny, no catching pigs or rodeo. How would you like someone to rope up your dog like that if it's me? I agree, but as a kid, that was kind of what they put us in school to do. It was a competition amongst other schools as well, and we are usually pretty good at it. Charlotte, Texas. I've never done rodeo other than helping replace shoes on cows. Cows? No, horses, and cleaning up the crap from them, their stalls. I've done a lot when it comes to like stock animals, quite a bit. Sally Campos, wishing a happy birthday. What's up, buddy? Another Vegas peep in the house. Told him we'll go thrifting sometime, and we will. We will soon. I'll reach out to you. I'll hit you up, and I think I got your number too. Thank you and happy birthday to you and Kelly as well. Married for 46 years, June 1976. Youngsters. I feel it's young. How old is everybody here? Speaking of ages, I'm 42 years old. I just turned 42 October 11th. How old is everybody here? And do you feel your age? Do you feel younger? I feel young. I honestly do. A lot of people say, "Man, Sonny, you don't look like your age." And I think for the most part, I kind of take care of myself. And lately I've been exercising a lot more, but I should have been exercising for a lot longer and shouldn't have stopped. But sometimes I think if I just give myself a little bit of time away, it's fine. I could catch up. And then that little time ends up being a week, months, year. And then it catches up to you and you're like, crap, I wish I'd never stopped. So whatever good you're doing for yourself, don't stop doing that. Maintaining is the best thing you could do. Just don't give up. The resale game is all about making offers. If you're Dominican, that is not the same sentence. Soulmate for Robin had soulmate for 24 years. Oh, I love that soulmates. Anyone remember Primo beer? I still Hawaii has Primo beer. There's some here in Vegas too. I drank a few. What's up, Charlie? Got Charlie in the house. Charlie, are you gonna have another event next year? So that's one of my big things I've been talking about since I started reselling full time. Is like I want to go to more of these events that I'm hearing about, and I just happen to hear everything at the last second to where I couldn't afford it. But even though it's in California, I still couldn't afford it. I got some things that I was working on. But next year I do want to go, and that's one thing Art of Resale asked me when I ran into him at the flea market before Charlie's FleaCon event, and it was pretty cool. He had some artists show up, and then Cali reseller Luis was there, and he was telling me about it on the phone. We were talking for a while, and then he shared it online too. Some of the really cool stories and people that he got to meet. And Yvonne was there too. She'll probably pop in a second if she hasn't already. If I haven't caught up to all the emails, but pretty cool. I want to be more part of that too, not just locally, but also neighbor states. And there's people reaching out more, like Arizona, and places in Arizona where it's like, if you ever come over here, let me know. And I hear really good stuff about California thrifting and Arizona, that there's some really good thrift places. They could be saying that just to get me there, kidnap me, but it's fine. I got hands, folks. Burger King finger hands. They fit real easily inside an eye socket or two. No, not on it. How costly is it? Why is it? Because you're getting started back after 2.5 break, although channel started 2019. Don't know how to do lists perfectly. I thought I signed up for it, but couldn't figure out why it didn't download. I'm 70 years old and kind of a tech challenge. I am too, Penny. And if you still want to look into it, if you still have the program, email me, and what I could see what I could do is just me on you one on one, like this, just me and you. Nobody else gonna see it. It's just like a private talk between me and you, and I could see your screen and see what you're doing, and hopefully help you out. But list perfectly, to tell you the truth, everybody. And I'm not sponsored by them in any ways. They just saw something in me, and I was comfortable to open up and talk to them more and more and more. And it feels like a good friendship. I really like List Perfectly that they're not just a service that they're trying to get people to use. It's also a hangout, and there's a lot of people that follow the List Perfectly platforms like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook that don't even use List Perfectly, and they still find benefits from just keeping up with them and learning some things, especially discovering other resellers like ourselves and people who are interested in just trying to resell for their own reasons. So if you want to, Penny, you could email me, or if anybody's interested, just message List Perfectly on any platform that they have. I've done that too on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and they're pretty prompt. And I only know maybe like six of them. They just brought in Teresa Cox in there, Teresa Clark Cox, and to their crew, and she was pretty cool. I got to meet her in person, and rather I was telling her about Mercari, and rather than her saying, "Okay, Mercari," I don't want to hear about them. Go to List Perfectly's table. And she didn't. She said, go to Mercari and tell them that story that you just told me. And I did. And she was there too. And it was pretty cool how their mind was like, whoa, you sold that on our site. And then they asked, what do you think we could change? And I was like, you're shipping. You are. I feel like they're taking money from shipping. And I told the two or three guys that were there, and they're like, oh yeah, we're working on it. And I'm just like, do it now. Don't bank off of shipping, but hey, it's their platform. They could do really whatever they want. Thanks for stopping by earlier on our channel. Yeah, it was nice. It brought me joy, sparkle of joy. Especially the that necklace was nice. It was like I really thought it was candy too. Some people said it was M&Ms, but I was thinking more like Skittles. It was a nice one too, and really good pricings too. And you knew what you had, and also was informative about what you also bring to the video, what people are seeing and bidding on. Crime time, wine time. Who drinks wine here, folks? I don't. Wine puts me to sleep. I like it, but it makes me sleep pretty fast. Yeah, that 3 hour thing on parse is annoying. Lynn Glenn in the house. You and Mikey Bags are fun together to watch. I like Mikey Bags of Money. What's today? Thursday? I think tomorrow, we're meeting up at Broad Acres. And I think Mikey's going live. So I did. If y'all see my last video with Danny and Noah, who was in there this time, they brought headlamps, and mine was turning off. And come to find out, I'm pretty sure this is what it wasn't wrong with theirs. It's what was going on with theirs, that it actually has like a motion sensor. So it'll turn on, and unless you're having an object move in front of you or you're moving to where an object appears to be moving in front of that little sensor, it'll turn on. So I thought it was just like a loose battery. But when I was looking up Sun for myself, and I'm going to get them charged up tonight for tomorrow. And it's really good to have, especially this time of the year, because the sun is straight as snoring. It gets dark quick, and by the time I get over there, it's dark. And I really want videos to be as clear as possible because, like me, and I think like a lot of you, we're nosy and want to know what else is there. And it's fun when you see something and you know about it, to where it's like, hey, Sonny, at this number on this video at like 7 minutes and 32 seconds, there's this thing, and explain it. And that helps a lot, especially when it's not like an estate sale or garage sale, because it's hard to go back to those places unless you're Dave the NC picker who will go knock on that door and say, hey, you had this where you're there the last time. Let me go into your house and get it. And that's what Dave has honestly done before. You can see it in his video if you haven't already. It's been probably like several months ago now. I want to say 3 months. Could be wrong. Sometimes in the reseller world and the busy lives that we have, a week ago to us is really like 2 years ago. It's just a lot going on in our lives. I get chased cow off the property in New Mexico. Oh man. Back in Texas, we used to have a lot of wild boars, javelines, deers like that go through. Now some parts of more like Fullerton and between Charlotte and Catula, Pearson, those places are apes, monkeys in the wild, just gone. Somebody ended up buying them, and I think he passed away, and they just left him alone because nobody could take care of him. Crazy story. 44. Nice. 73. I 70. Where the hell did I get 73? Am I adding numbers up in my head? 51? I would have never guessed that. 51. Angel, no way. 52? Viejito. I'm Batman. Angel and his Batman. I would have never guessed that, Charlie. I thought you were younger. Carrie just jumping in to say hi. Okay, I see how it is. Carrie, are you going tomorrow to Broad Acres? Because if you are, you better text me and let me know so I could give you your Buffalo Bills backpack that I got from Will. 62, I feel younger. Nice. Very, very nice. Betty Packard, I'm 64. In my mind, I'm 20. In my mind, I feel like a kid. I don't really get to say like a teenager or a 20-year-old. I just feel like a kid in a good way, one that has a little bit more sense and like a kid having hormones for the first time. Though not that kind of kid, just a kid at heart. 68, I feel younger until joints crack loudly. Oh man, my neck is one of them. I have arthritis and in my back and hips, and I also have sciatica. So I fill it up in the back of my neck. But I've been exercising a lot lately and trying to get my weight down. That has to do a lot with it. And also, people say eat your greens, and it's supposed to help you. But if you eat too much greens, and you're the type of person that gets bloated easily, that's part of it too. So you got to watch what healthy stuff is good for, like to digest and release, but also what it does to your body. Greens for me, I get really bloated and I get really tense. So I gotta watch what I eat when it comes to greens. I can't eat too much. But I love veggies. Bok choy. If anybody has had bok choy, I love bok choy. That's one of my favorite ones. Powerful, powerful, healthy veggie. Carrie, Kristen, you're 35? No way. No way, Kristen. Kristen's telling lies. See, lie. Here's Laura. I just mentioned you earlier. Um, say nothing but good stuff. Very encouraging and pushing me to get organized. Could have, should have, could have, would have. That comment. 52, but feel older. I've been disabled for 3 years. My current hobby is napping. My guy Sam, I says I don't take naps. I take comas. my wife is a that type of sleeper. When she sleeps hard. She sleeps like give her 2 seconds. I called her a wildebeest when she snores. Don't tell her I said that, folks. A lot of people got to meet my wife too for the first time. Not a good experience towards the end because she did get tipsy and had to carry her to the truck. But from what people remember, they love my wife. She's a little short person. Kathy, Granny Franny, calendar age. I like that. 55 in a few weeks. Mental age can vary from 18 to 30 depending on the day. So, depending on the day, Kathy and everybody else, what makes your day? What little things go a long way with you for you to feel like to lift you up? Is it a person? Is it like the sun rising up and the color of the sky? Is it like the cool breeze for this time of the year? Is it the sound of something, the smell of coffee, when it tastes so good when it touches your lips? What are some little things that you would love to have on a daily basis that just lifts you up? That may not mean something to somebody, but definitely makes a difference in your life. For me, is this little guy right here. He's sleeping right now. He's in a coma right now. He's usually like sleeping like 18 hours a day, which is crazy. Never knew dogs slept so much. Um, Let me see. For me, yeah, it would be tip would be the first thing. I do say a prayer when I get up before I even reach for my phone, and then go wash my face and brush my teeth. And I think the second thing is just I've been back and forth with coffee lately. I've been trying not to focus on just getting coffee, even though it tastes so good. But I've been trying to just stay away from it just because of the benefits of just having my self energy. And later on in the day when I know I need a little push for listing and staying up a little longer because I have nothing else to do. It's not like I need to sleep at a precise point or be up at a certain time. And now that my mother-in-law's here, she's cooking a lot more, so I don't have to cook for my wife um, for breakfast or for dinner because my mother-in-law already takes care of that. So that's been helpful to me to catch up on listings. So these little things going a long way. And soon, I need to look what date it is, folks. It's sometime in November. I'm going to be watching over my goddaughter, and that week I will not go live. And I think the starting day of babysitting her is going to be a Thursday. So when I see the info on that, I'll let y'all know. But I will recommend who to go to if they're going to have a live. I know who has a live. Um, Ginger Marv, I think, just went live at 7. And after, I'm not getting off now. I'm going to stay a full hour on here today. But after that, I'm going to have everybody go over there and show some love and say, hey, Sonny Las Vegas sent me over here. Really good people, really good couple. They've been an inspiration on being organized and things that they sell too, like Citizen. So I learned things from Ginger Mark just by watching their videos and also just hanging out with them after I go live. As I'm listing, I'm inside their throwing my 2 cents and doing what you're doing, having fun inside the live chat on their channel. So really good couple. I really like them. And I also like seeing Reese just sleep there and lay down. It's kind of funny how just about all the dogs just lay there and sleep. Unless as Daddy and the niche lady, you have Bougie, who's right in the back, who either like shows her some love or is like grooming her hair or trying to eat her earring. because it has like maybe looks like some seeds or some fruit on it. But other than everybody that I know with animals or some type of pet, I think Bougie is the only one that isn't sleeping when he's in the background. What's up, Paul? I got Paul in the house. Sonny with the good hair. What's up? That's funny. Storage Invaders, we got Tom in the house. I got to see Tom's section there at Broad Acres. And I got 2 items I need to list, but I want to go through it more next time during the day. But I was trying to catch up to who was it? That day was the Art of Resale, Old School Flips, and Christian A Rule Squirrel. There we were all hanging out, so I had to catch up to them. I kept like ditching them, not purposely. Well, I guess I kept getting lost from them because they'll be up ahead of me and turn some type of way, and I kept going the wrong way. So we'd always circle around and run into each other. But that was a good time. That was a lot of fun. Danny missed my text. I know. I was inviting Danny to come on, but it was at the last second. It was my fault. Danny, am I or is it? Am I scooping you up tomorrow? Because I think we could leave earlier tomorrow, since my mother-in-law's here. And we get some good lighting. Even though I got some headlights this time for myself. I need some for the cart, and I still haven't named it yet, folks. And that's one thing I'm gonna do. I'm glad for reminding myself about this. So I'm gonna give myself a budget tomorrow for the Broad Acres when we go. And I'm gonna let y'all determine what that budget's gonna be. Anywhere from like max $100. If you say no, try to find $400 worth of stuff in sales for $50. Like I want to do that. I want to try to have like this challenge for y'all to get me and focused on. So I'm gonna after this live, I'm gonna go in the community tab, and I recommend folks if you're growing your channel and if you haven't already, take advantage of the community tab. It's a great way to communicate with others that doesn't involve having to create a video or a short video. It's straight to the people that are following you, and you get to learn more about them and they get to learn more about you. And the more you could pull yourself together to do that with your audience, the more you're going to find that you have a lot in common and a lot to learn. I get a lot of information from Laura here, also Miss Taffy, and then not Miss Taffy. I always mess up her name, Miss Taffy. I always get them too confused when it comes to speaking of them, but I see them online and I always give information as well as everybody else giving positive support. But there's some out there that are like this. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Get your butt together, Sonny. Get organized. That's what Laura told me pretty much recently. Are you guys all better now? Oh, were y'all sick? Were y'all sick, Angel? Were y'all under the weather? I don't get sick too often, folks. And I tell people this here in Las Vegas, we have some pretty good tap water. And that's what I drink, tap water. What's up, Marcia? Marcia, South Florida, South FLA. Is this always blue? I think my eyes are starting to kick in because it wasn't blue for me earlier. I thought it was gray. My color blindness self. Tar says, hello to Danny. Love your YouTube videos. And then I don't have, wait, do I have? Here we go. Let me see the pop-out chat. I need to go to my own YouTube other than pop-out chat. Let me hide this part. Close this window a little bit so I'm not looking off to the side and you're like, what are you looking at? What are you looking at over there, Sonny? My guy hugs, they're the best medicine no matter what. Hugs are good. Penny, also tech challenge. My husband is IT guy. Oh, nice. Nice. Faith Robin. Sonny, I think she is packing moving mode. Oh. What's up, Leticia? Letty? How are you doing, my friend? Letty gave me, Mikey, I believe, Supercourt, and Danny this kind of photo album book, and I still have it It's downstairs. I was showing my wife, and she was like, "Oh, that's so nice." My wife loves that type of stuff, and she makes them herself. Not as nice as yours, Leticia, but she was like, "Whoa." So much where she was trying to take it from me, but not gonna happen. But I want to start adding more things of it not be just digital all the time of videos, and I'm meeting more and more people out there. And what I want to do with these photos is get them actually printed and put them inside the book that you gave me, Leticia. So I really like that you gave me that. I like some of the old school classic things. I look at YouTube as like the new age photo album, but video content. And you could have videos on there or photos on there, like on Facebook and Instagram and stuff. But I want to start printing some of this stuff out, and I want to have a board of people that I meet and have like where they're from and how I met them, just like for my own sake. People really lift me up, and I thrive off of that. I'm really, I, I, I love seeing people just enjoy themselves, and that makes that makes a big part of my life of what I do and why I do it. I thrive off of that. That's like my addiction is joy. Bok choy, yum, yummy, yummy, yummy. Sonny, you mentioned several times of mine. This is my favorite time of the year. This is my favorite time of the year, but it's kind of weird for me here in Vegas that although I've been wanting it to get cold this whole time, when I step on side, it just doesn't feel like it should be this cold right now. And yes, for me and probably a lot of people here in Vegas is like it's cold to us, but it feels really good. I haven't needed a hoodie or sweater yet, but I'm working on that. And that reminds me because I got some comments of um, people saying that the t-shirts aren't doing it enough anymore to keep warm in their area. And I have blank apparel that I got from the thrift store that I want to start throwing on my own stuff. In about 2 weeks, I'm going to have that website up. Nothing big, nothing crazy, just things that I find to keep things from being thrown to the dump, but things that I like that I feel like I'm going to rock this or I would rock it if I fit me and I got it for a good price. And I won't make much off of it, but it's something that I just want to do and share. And more people are asking for merchandise from me, but I don't want to just put everything on Amazon. And I'm working to bringing as it grows, as I grow, have full color type designs that I could make myself to cut out the middleman, like Amazon, where they take a big chunk of the profits they're making, and I make like a $2, $3 off of some things, depending on what you order. Or poops on me. Yeah, Bougie will do that. I've always wondered that, Danny, but I can never really tell if he does or doesn't unless he pointed out. Need to go. All right, take it easy, Robin. Have a wonderful week. Thank you for stopping by, and I hope you get plenty of rest. Hope you're doing well. Can't go forward looking to the rear mirror. Am I right? Can't go forward looking in the mirror view. Can you go forward looking in the mirror view? You can if you're not afraid to look at what you're gonna hit. But I said something about that the other day. In Liz Perfectly's thing, people's I think her name was Dana. So like your mom must be real proud of you. And it made me smile inside. I was like, yeah, I think my mom is really proud of me, but she's always been proud of me. And I think one of the biggest challenges that I had growing up, even up until like I think I turned like early 30s, was just trying to get my dad to be proud of me. That was one of my biggest challenge. And I remember one day, I think when we finally got aside from how we felt towards one another, I think we built up this like false dislike for one another that we're trying to get one to be like, no, you're gonna budge, no, you're gonna budge. And I finally said, like, Dad, I love you. And I gave him a hug, and he kind of stood there, like, oh, I'm not gonna hug you, like, okay, like, and I could feel him loosen up, like his muscles just dropped, and he just came really like jello, mushy. And I remember one of his hands just going up, and he was like, a little pat, and he was like, I love you too, mijo. But he turned away, and I was like, this guy's crying. Like, come on, Dad. But it was really nice. It was really emotional, and that's one of the like my biggest moments where me and my dad's relationship turned for the better. And I'm really glad that happened. It's something I really needed in my life to have my dad there. And that's one of the biggest things too that I've learned seeing other people and relationships in their family is like, you people say you never know what it is to not have like a mom or dad. And I can't relate in any way. But it's also hard when you have a mom or dad who are there but aren't there at the same time. And it's like they're visible and you could see them, and it's like, why am I not wanted? Like that's heartbreaking too. Not to compare in any ways, but there's different things to different people that it's hard is hard, and hardships are never one you could compare and be like mine's worse and mine's worse and mine's worse. Like who wants to be worse? Why can it be better? And that's what I'm working on in so many different things. And I used to not be this person. I used to be a person that was really negative because everybody was around me was negative, and I used to think the worst of people. And I was like, they're up to something, until I started looking at how it was affecting me and my wife, me with my wife, and my wife towards me, to where I'm just like, I can't do this. I don't want to be this way. This isn't me. I want to be happy. And I started scooting people away, not verbally telling them like I can't stand you and you're too much for me. I just pulled myself to the side and focused on me. And one of the biggest things in reselling, this has helped me just have that opportunity on a daily basis, talk to people either online, DMs, on the phone. Lizette's one of them. She checks on me every now and then. We'll talk, chit chat. And it's just nice to have that around, even when it's not physically around. It's just jump on the phone. It's like, here you are. Carissa's one. Carissa went through a lot. Chosen Goods. She's gone through a lot the past couple of years, and who knows how long before that, that I things that I don't know. And she's over there in the hospital checking on me, who's fine, and I'm probably like, oh man, this guy sent the return, and it's like the end of the world. But yet somebody's fighting for their life. When you have these different things to compare in a good way, to be like, you know what, you need to appreciate life, Sonny. You need to put yourself out there for people to and check up on them. And I do that. I'm not saying I don't, but it's just amazing where people's mindset, even when they're going through so much stuff, they still have that strength in them and care and that heart to check on other people. And I think that's really, really nice. And it's something I've needed for a long, long time. And I'm very thankful to have it. And it's something I'm always going to hold until somebody does me wrong. But then, being my normal self, I'm going to let you step on one foot and then on the other foot. And then I'm going to get a new pair of shoes. And then it's just going to keep happening because I believe in people that much. So, can't break me. New England, thank you. And congratulations. I think you might have been the first person to be Carry American Arbitrage's mod. I thought that was pretty huge. I messaged them. I was texting them saying, hey, that person you just gave a wrench to, she's really cool. I was like, and really nice. I was like, she's a hard worker. I was like, her name's Lizette. And then he read it. He was like, oh, yeah, her name's Lizette. I was like, you didn't know, Carrie. But I like those little things because it matters to me. So he wants to go thrifting soon too, but I'm going to meet up with the Reseller Cartel, which is another thing, folks. I'm noticing, if you aren't noticing, the Reseller Cartel community is growing little by little, and that's a lot of fun. I thought Mikey came up with it, but it actually came from Kevin Commonwealth. Just something that he said. It wasn't like a big story or anything, but then Mikey heard it, and then he took it and mentioned it to me, and just a normal conversation, and it stuck to my head to where it's like, I like that. And it just reminds me of Vegas, like the gangsters, the cartels, and the mafia. Not that we're going to be that way, but it's just like one of those things where I was selling. My mind opening up to this was like, okay, we are the original Las Vegas cartel, the crew that we know, that that's here in Las Vegas, right? And it's growing little by little. So when Jimmy came down, what's up, Mikey Bags of Money? So when Jimmy came down for the Boss Reseller remix and he stayed with me again, a lot of fun with Jimmy being here. He just easygoing, mellow too, and really good conversation, good talks. And I just I like Jimmy a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. And his wife's amazing too. Can never lead out Sonia. She's a strong, smart individual. So I was telling Jimmy, I said, Jimmy, so we have the Reseller Cartel here in Vegas, the Las Vegas Reseller Cartel. And he kind of looks over at me and he was like, where are you going with this? I was like, I see you, and so does Mikey and some of us. Like you are starting to do that over there in your area too in Denver. And I was like, I need you to start pushing that. And he was like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah, we're gonna expand this reseller cartel to all the states and overseas and whatever people could go with. Like, it would be cool to have reseller cartel Las Vegas." And then all of a sudden, you see somebody's video, a reselling content video, or you're walking by wherever you're at. You could be in Canada, in the UK, where people follow us as well. Me too. Um, and you just see something, you're like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! You're a reseller cartel? Like you follow so and so?" And those little things are just a way of breaking the ice and saying, "Hey, I see you. You're here too." And conversations could come about that. It's like an easy eye catcher when you know what you know. So I really want to push that more and more and get some stuff made from it. And you never know, it might be huge. And even if it's not, it's still fun. And I think it's a great idea. I got my iPhone yesterday. Need to sell a lot more stuff. Did it break, Adam? Thank you for coming. I seen your message earlier. I think I accidentally looked over it, but I meant to say hello. I hope you're doing well. Um, what kind of iPhone is it? The new iPhone? Because it takes me a while to give into a new phone. I hit the thumbs up when I tuned in. Thank you, Leticia. Story about your dad gave me feels. I like feels. I really do. I love my dad too. My dad's awesome. He's gone through a lot, and I understand why. I did it when I was younger, but now that I'm older, he was really young when him and my mom had me. So there was no time to be a kid, and that I think that's why I am the way that I am. When I got out the high school, I went straight into the military, and I wanted to excel, and I knew I wanted to be a sergeant, and I became a sergeant. And then towards the last 2 years of the military, even being a stellar sergeant soldier, it just became too negative for me, where it took away a lot of me. It took away who I wanted to be, and ended up hurting me to where depression and suicidal thoughts and things like that, to where therapy just helped me get out of that, along with my wife. Who's messaging me right now? Somebody's blowing up my phone. Stand by, folks. Okay, just a lot of alerts coming in at once. Absolutely so important to remove unhealthy people from your day to day and fill in space to positive, supportive people. It is very important, but I don't let go of them completely, where it's like you're not in my life, because they might be going through stuff too, and I could reach out and say hi, hello. And I had a friend go through that recently that I shared a week ago, I think. And I'm glad even now, because of that, I think he's like, man, he was like, "What are you doing? What is this YouTube?" And a lot of this YouTube stuff, the social media content for people back home, from what I see, are not open to it. It's very like hardworking. You get outside, you work. That's work. And I don't think they think anything bad of me. But it's still new for a lot of people, um, because of their work ethic and the culture that they come from. But they're opening up little by little, because some of them are starting to create fan pages for their businesses, and they're becoming entrepreneurs. And that makes me really happy, because there's more for people. Even the smallest places that you live, there's opportunities there. You just have to find what's missing, what people need, and apply that and make it available to people. And there's a lot to learn. It's not that easy, but it's a lot to learn. Staying positive and helping people stay positive is the best medicine. It's the best self medicine for myself too. And I don't do it just to, like, I don't know, like, take advantage of people to make it sound like I'm a good person, because I wasn't at first. I was, and then I wasn't, and now I'm like an even better person now. And I think a lot of people are starting to see it, but I only say that because people are telling me that. What people see in me, I don't know. I really don't. What I see in other people, it's just like so bright and positive that it's almost blinding. I'm just joking. I can be corny at times. She hear the way I talk to my wife. She says I'm so sweet. I make her want to puke. But I don't think that's a nice thing to say. Friends and family, you get to choose. And you are my family, especially you, Laura. Okay, well, we need to know he loved and care about. We're loved and care about. Yeah, we do. We do. Tough love is it's good up to a point. Then after a while, you're like, I don't need the tough love. I just need love. Just come over here and hug me and say, I love you. And I do that to my wife. My wife is a tough coconut, and I just get up to her and I'm just like, come here. And she's like, no, no. She's pushing me away. I was like, you're not stronger than me, woman. Like, you're gonna hug me and I'm gonna kiss you. I don't care if you don't kiss me back. But if I kiss you, you better not have your eyes open because that makes me feel some type of way. And she just laughs. She's just a tough person. And because of her past, I understand why, but I let her know I'm the man and that I love her. And that's it. And if she's still gonna scold me for whatever reason, because I left 2 weeks of thrifting, in the garage, like, what are you complaining about? There's stuff there from years ago that I haven't touched yet. That's right, the OG Resell Cartel. It is funny, but it's also cool. Like, I just have this script, like just old school script, black t-shirt, white font, just started out that way. And then after time, it's Las Vegas underneath. And then depending on how much people are like, well, I'm over here in Denver, or I'm in Arizona, or I'm in California, can you make that available? Like, I would try, but it's still a process to get that stuff made and do everything, the reselling stuff. But I'm thinking about it, folks. So if you're interested, down in the comments, not this comment, an actual video comment outside of the chat, I could see it. But maybe I'll do that in one of the polls on the community thumbnail, which is why I said earlier the community thumbnail is a great place to communicate with people, whereas directly with the people that are following you. So with that, I'll see. I will see. But I also see the friends tomorrow, Mikey. Not sure if Super Court's gonna go, but she definitely has a say so in it. And the crew, the reseller cartel crew. And see how and if they want to do anything with it. Because I know I got plans for it. And I'm pretty sure they're in it. It's very little things we disagree on. I don't think there's anything we disagree on lately that I know. Yes, Reseller Cartel with the chapters. Yes, chapters. That's the word if I wasn't thinking about it earlier. Hi, Angie. Danny Crystal. By the way, if any one of you know Matt, part-time picker, he's been struggling with isolation. If reselling, he could use some cartel therapy. Matt was down here in Vegas and he got to, or he invited Art Ariso and Carrie American Arbitrage to hang out. So that's good that he was able to reach out to them. And that's a stepping part, folks. Even when you don't know what's going on, I didn't know that, Laura, and I follow him. But that's huge. That information right there is just stop by. Hey, hi, hello. I hope you're doing well. Just watch how you word things when it comes to knowing something about somebody, because it's a delicate thing to go and be like, I heard you're struggling. Nobody wants to struggle, and if you already know they're struggling, don't remind them of it. Just say, hey, how are you doing? Talk to them like you would a friend that you care about, which Laura saying it automatically cares about, right? So it's bringing awareness, and awareness goes a long way, but the way you say things also could block people off from like, I don't want people knowing about my personal life. But I'm that way. I'm open about it. And there is some things that I'm not, but it's me coping and learning, and in time, like, I share more stuff. But for the most part, I'm doing really, really good. Thanks to all of you, to tell you the truth. My husband was a master sergeant. He was so rough on our boys. I believe it, but it comes with the territory, and I understand why. And that's all they know at times, especially when you have people that you are trained to train, and it's hard to turn off that switch. But by knowing that they're your kids and you're strong, you believe they're just as strong. And I've seen some people, I don't have kids, but I'm crossing my fingers right now. For those who know, me and my wife have been struggling to have our own kids. And we've been going through Nevada fertility, which has been a headache here in Las Vegas. And it's one of the first things I told a VA when they said, hey, we're going to send you a consult. Who do you want to go to? And I said, anybody but Nevada fertility. That was my first comment, and they're like, "Well, they are the only ones." I was like, "Then why'd you ask me if, well, like, who was I gonna pick if they're the only ones?" So for 2 years, I've been having surgeries and I've been having appointments with them. Not only me, my wife as well. And they haven't passed any of that information on to the VA. So the VA thought that the consult that they sent was that I neglected it, that I wasn't using it. So because Nevada Fertility wasn't doing their part, as simple as just faxing their stuff, they are now saying, "Hey, the VA canceled your referral," and we're like, "What are you talking about?" So for every other 3 days, once a week, I contact the VA and said, "What's going on?" They're like, "Get a hold of the Fat Fertility, tell them to pass the information." And I'm like, "Why am I doing that? Why are you doing that?" Like, I feel like I'm doing your job and it's not getting anywhere, and it hasn't for 2 years. And every time one's saying, "Well, you need to do this, you need to do that," like, I don't understand that. You're two professional companies or identities that are supposed to be talking to each other and then taking care of us when you say, "Come to this appointment and this is what we need you to do." But neither one of them were doing that. But somebody here recently, I called the VA advocacy and asked them for help. And I told them, and this lady blew my mind when she said, "Hold on, let me look at your information online," because they're supposed to put in all these notes and they never get deleted. Come to find out, nobody was putting anything when I was calling about the issues that I've been having. But luckily, this person on their own a week later called me and said, "Hey, Sonny, I'm Beverly. I'm the one from the VA who talked to you last week, and you told me about what was going on." I brought it up to the chain of command, and her chain of command took it up to the chief of staff, the high honcho, el mero mero, el numero uno, the main person, man or woman, is now investigating what's going on with this, what shouldn't have been a problem. So I'm glad now that they have it, because they're going to be asking questions like, if Sonny called this time and it's in the notes that he called, because that is there when I called. It's just the notes of after, it's like, what's going on with this stuff. I'm pretty sure they're going to investigate it. And I don't care if people get a slap on the wrist or not. I just want to have kids with my wife. And I want that just to be a new chapter in my life of having little Sunny Las Vegases coming around here. They might even name a street after us, depending how great of a reseller I could be and an impact in the community. That'd be pretty cool. But I don't want to get a street named after me just because I pass away. I'm going to be here for a long time. So, Sonny, you as well as Mikey are gentlemen, and it shows in your videos. I love Mikey's videos. His recent one that I was watching, he was talking as I do him now, but he was like, "Yeah, I'm just talking. And I need to stop." And it's funny because we get caught up in that way where you're talking and you're not making any sense other than to yourself, and you don't know how to stop. And just to have those moments where somebody's just being real and honest, even recording himself, like that's just people being genuine, and that's why I like the friends that I have. They're not trying to be perfect. They're just sharing who they are, and that matters to me. I feel so close to all of you guys, but watching you all every day. And I think that's why Jimmy and I kicked it off pretty good, because we've been following each other for such a long time that when we met in person, they didn't feel like strangers. Maybe to my wife, but they were so cool. Jimmy and his wife, Jimmy's wife, Sonia, that there wasn't something. And I was watching too. I was like, how's my wife feel? How are they feeling? It both mattered to me. But it was really nice. It was really fun. I wish my wife had more time to chill with us, but hey, I had more time to Sonia and Jimmy anyways, because my wife was sleeping during that time, and we'll go out to like garage sales and stuff. The first time they came over, Angie, Angie, hey Sonny, I watch you and all the other guys so much. I feel like I know all of you. You are all genuine and awesome people, and I learned a lot from you all. Well, I appreciate it, and like I told other people as well, if there's ever any questions that you have, especially like reselling or just, I even get messages of like pimples, because I had a bad pimple a while back, and I read the messages and I replied back, and I even get messages from replying to messages saying like, "Oh, you didn't have to reply back, but I appreciate it." And I'm busy, folks, but I'm never busy not to reply. And if I don't reply, there might have been something on the emails in, because I usually do really well at replying. I had a reply the other day from a lady with, I can't remember the name right now, and I could look it up on the phone, but I'm not gonna do that. And she has a logo, and she was asking me to help her out. And Danny's asked me to, and I've just been busy, and I want to get to it, and I will. But um, I think she was a little upset that I didn't reply back, but I know that I replied back. Did I have to argue or reply back saying that I replied back? No. Just continue on with the communication of the email and say, "Hey, yeah, this is what I'm going through right now, and hope you understand. But how can I help you? I apologize." Because I do. I don't want people to feel like I ignore them when I'm not. But that's technology for you, and I say that all the time. But technology, it's funny. It's great when it works, and it sucks when it doesn't. I got present for you tomorrow. Danny, you reminded me there too. I know. Is Carrie gonna be there tomorrow, Danny? Because I got her backpack, Buffalo Bills backpack, and I got to give you Matt. I have a 3D spool plastic thing that he uses for his 3D molding. So with that, I'm gonna give it to him. I got it from the Broadacres a while back. I just forgot to get it, and I also have shipping supplies. Mikey, Danny. I got it from another reseller who is going to stop for a while. She doesn't live too far from me. She reached out on Instagram and said, "Hey, I have this stuff if you want it." And I went over, and her and her husband, really nice, talked for a while, and they gave me some amazing shipping supplies, padded poly mailer bags. They're not USPS ones. They are high end type of bags. There, I'm like, man, this costs somebody money, but they do clean outs, and said that they come across stuff often. And with that, I told them Loretta said she wants to do more with the community, and she likes like nonprofit, and she wants one herself. But her husband doing clean outs out of houses, um, they bring home a lot of stuff, a lot of good stuff, and a lot of it goes to waste where they throw. So I told them about Danny saying what she just started and got approved on and working on with getting everything arranged in the store, that I would like to them to connect, because if that's part of what she wants to do, Loretta, to like donate to help like nonprofit and things like that. I told her about the dogs and other things that not just animals but other things that Danny does. She said, "Oh my God, that's really what I want to do. That makes me really happy." And husband was like, "It will make her really happy." So that's another thing about meeting a community, is the community within a community helping each other goes a long way. Sometimes it's just giving and not wanting anything in return, other than feeling the way you are when you give to something that's going to benefit either animals or the community or people. So I think I'm going to do that when Danny gets her stuff and link them to up. And on top of that, today they're like, "Hey, come over. We got some stuff if you're interested. If not, we're going to throw it." So I'm not going to get it for free. I'm definitely going to pay for it. Also, taxes. It's easy to take free stuff, but when you get free stuff and you have all these profits, then it's like it's not good at times. Not good. And I've been doing very well reselling. Yeah, I'm not seeing on my videos, but not Danny, of course that. He put there on the video, I mentioned you guys, so I'm glad reached out to Vegas. Oh, nice. I'll check it out. I've been watching a lot of his, but there's so much. Sometimes I might have missed one or two. And this is going to be Tom Folk Sturge Invaders 702. I like names. It's funny at the Boss Reseller Remix. People were telling me their names, and they're like, "I watch you," and I'm like, "Oh, thank you." And they're like, and I'm like, "Who are you though? Like, what's your username?" That's your first name to me is the username. So next year, I don't know how somebody wouldn't recognize my hair. I'm not gonna cut it even then. I may trim it because that's gonna be really long. This has been a year now from what I've been growing. It's long in the back of my neck. It's like past my collar now, about 2 or 3 inches. But next year I'm gonna have like my name in there, SonnyLasVegas. And then some buttons. I also want to make some buttons, do some giveaways. I said that this year, but being a procrastinator, I kicked myself in the butt and I couldn't do it. I've been praying. Thank you, Kay. I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. Very much. Penny. We got Andy Salmeda. Como Staka? Anak. I need a logo too. Tom, I got you, but I'm a little behind on wow, I'm stuttering now. A little behind on creating logos, but I'm gonna get to them soon. But the first one I need to do, it's gonna be, and it's probably been 4 months now, folks. They probably don't even want the logo anymore, but I'm gonna do it anyways for Dave, Kevin, and Carrie. I have something in my head that I it's so funny. I'm probably gonna take 2 days after today and knock it out. When it's in your head and you have a vision, it's a lot easier than when somebody gives you an idea and you're like, I know what you want, but I don't see it yet. And as an artist, that's when it takes a long time. And for me, this has probably been the longest time frame of not doing a design. It's probably been like 3 or 4 months. And then Danny's logo too. I really like her logo and what she's doing. And it's very simple, but simple, unique goes a long way when it comes to creating a logo. Why? Think about all the greatest simple designs, McDonald's, Walmart. Like you could play on the colorway without doing too much of like crazy color amounts. You can at times, but simple goes a long way, especially when you're printing designs. If your only option is to do screen printing for every color, somebody might charge you for that screen frame to put a layer down. On top of that, they got to cure it, they got to buy the t-shirts, the labor that goes to it. Sometimes people charge you for setup. So when it comes to creating t-shirts, especially screen printing, it could take a long time. But there's companies out there that can make it a lot simpler. You just have to find out what you need and invest in some equipment. Invest in your own equipment. That's what I'll tell you right now. Like thermal printers, resellers with thermal printers. It's like, oh, I have a printer, and then all of a sudden it took me like 4 years to finally get a thermal printer aside from a home printer and use it, and it has saved me a lot of time. Is it perfect? No, but I've had this for probably a year and a half, and I've only had 2 or 3 times where I've had issues with it, but only because of the accordion type labels when they fan out. Those always somehow end up getting stuck in some way to where the adhesive gets on that little label heat part to where it shows on the label and now the barcode's off. So and it's a super easy fix. You just get some alcohol, little cotton swab, you stroke it across, dry it out, get a fresh cotton swab, dry one, no alcohol, and you rub it on there and test it out, and it should be good to go. Like it's super simple. It's not hard at all. Unlike a home printer, ink, paper jam, paper alignment, internet not working. Like those are the big things. And it's just like the ink trying to get it at times. And then you're trying to find like a cheaper ink on Amazon and that doesn't always work. And you're like, this doesn't work, it's crap, or you need to send it back so you get your refund. And we all know how that goes. So it's a time saver. And it's also a space saver rather than having something Mikey measurements like this big. I have a little thermal printer like this, and I have stuff on it. Like I use it as a little stand too. Yay, ladies and gents, Jody is amazing, beautiful soul, and I want to have her on some of my videos and go thrifting together. I think she's going to be an amazing person to follow along in the community. We do it already here in Vegas. Really good person, and really lights up the room and just joy, really joyful. If y'all are following me on Instagram and you saw my Ric Flair video, that is her. That is her behind a woo. And I love that I captured that. It was probably like the only one that had a full clip recording of Jody, and they're just pretty cool and dresses very well too. That's also another thing I've been thinking about is when I go thrifting, is kind of have like a modeling part where I like try something on and have like a little B-roll type thing for my videos. I've been wanting to do that for some time. There's nothing new in my head. I've been wanting to do it for years. I've just been body shaming myself for the longest time, but I've been working out for like a whole 2 hours for the past month. So I think I'm in perfect shape for it. Cool live, bro. Money Mike. Oh, we got Money Mike and Mikey bags of money. Oh, Money Mike, what state are you in? Are you here in Vegas as well? Penny, good luck picking peaches. It's the name on your videos. You know what? Let me see. Let me see if I could do this. Let me see if I could get Jody. Okay, I'm back. Where's it at on here? All right, Jody, I'm gonna give you a wrench. And please add your link inside here. Add your link, and peeps could follow you. She's such a sweetheart too. And her story's pretty cool too of how she met Katie and Vicky. I liked her story. I like what she shared with us at the event. Kate, amen, Sonny. You are so right. Helping each other matter. Because everybody does, big or small. It doesn't matter if you don't have a big following, if you don't have content, but if you're here and you're just supportive and you could share knowledge and share a good time and carry a smile with you till you go to sleep and you wake up and you're like, yes, I look forward to another day of amazing people, even though they're not right next to you, they're somewhere within your vibes and somewhere that you think about, and thinking of other people happy definitely makes me happy, and I make myself happier a lot more now than before. I was really in a dark place before, and I say that with ease now because I used to struggle before, and there used to be a lot of weight on my shoulders, to where it's like I can't open up. I don't want to share myself. I don't think people understand, and here we are, open as a book, and I'm comfortable about it because now I have a strength that I didn't have before, and you all have really helped me bring that out, because if you were to bash me and bring me down, then I would have shut down, went back to my hermit self, and you would have been like, oh, those smiles are amazing, but they wouldn't have been real. They wouldn't have. They would have just been empty smiles, and nobody would know what's really going on in my world. And it's not bad. Lately it's been amazing, like lately, as since I started reselling full time a year ago. It's life changing, and the more and more I talk about it, and I share the stories with my wife and how I'm making money on things here and there off of simply sharing what I do anyways on a daily basis, she's like, babe, I really need to get a YouTube. And I was like, come on, Carla, you keep saying that. You say I procrastinate, but she procrastinates, excuse me, with certain things as well. But she's going to be on here soon, folks. She does have a channel. Hello, Carla, I think, something like that. Everybody, this is Manny. And this is, I need a video. So I went to Will's house where I went to source, right? And what's funny is that Will goes, hey, do you want to come over? I got some stuff you want to look at. What's a good time? So I was like, 9. He said earlier the better. So I was like, how about 9? And then when I looked at the time, it was like 40 minutes away. And I'm like, eek, when he sent me the address. And I was like, okay, I could be up on that time. I'll be up anyways. It's just sometimes we think things are further than what they are. But at the same time, I couldn't pass up on an opportunity to meet somebody. And I also didn't know what he really had. I know what he comes across, and there's some really good stuff, and I knew I could learn from him, and I did. And not only did I make a new friend, I have somebody in the community that I could learn from too as well, on a more personal level, aside from just DMing. But on top of that, as soon as Will invited me over, Manny was like, DM me saying, hey, I'm gonna have a garage sale, do you want to come over? What time? And it happened to be the same day, and he said 10, and I'm just like, I can make this happen. I can make this happen. And it worked out. So that's one of the videos I'm gonna be working out soon. So really good stuff too. And if he shares stuff what he finds too on Instagram, so give a follow. Same thing. Vegas Adventure 702, I believe. Eek, I need mine before I can order a sign. So we gotta talk. Gotta talk. Just phone call away. Actually, Danny and I are probably only like 3 miles, 4 miles from each other, if that. Lizette, thank you. Thank you for sharing the link. And Betty Boot is gonna who I talked about earlier. She was made a mod on Carrie's live yesterday, and I texted him. I was like, that's Lizette. She's awesome peeps. I hope you did well in your whatnot, Carrie, you and Don. Last night's live was like hard to not look away from, like the wig that you had, and then Don was a natural with the beard. They reversed roles on who they were. Don was Carrie, Carrie was Don. And Don's beard, she kept messing with it so much that Carrie was like, "Stop messing with your beard. That's not cool." And I honestly mess with my beard all the time. This little patch of pubes right here, and my wife gets mad because you could hear it crinkle. When it's really quiet and you're watching a movie, you could hear like a pin drop, and my wife will like slap my shoulder and be like, "Stop doing that." And I was just like, I can't help it. It's just I like that sound, like crinkle, little hair crinkles together. You are so sweet to me. You are sweet to everybody. Jody, And then we got the trio. Who is this? I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess this is Angie. I feel like Angie would give hearts, and I feel like Crystal would give red hearts, and then Rachel would give the double hearts, where it's like heart with a little heart. That's just me. I'm just assuming. Late USPS drop as usual. I don't do late drops. Hi, Marty. Coming in late, coming in hot. Better late than never. Good thing about social media, especially like lives and stuff. You could always catch up later. Oh, and then we got the Tender Hot XZ Best Adult Dating Sites. Don't click on that, folks. I think I might be way behind, but I'm fine with that. I love the thermal printer. I haven't had any problems like selling since August. I'm not making a lot of money, but only 5 to 6 sales a week, but learning so much from you. So Penny, I'm glad you brought this up, and I'm glad you're learning some stuff. There's a lot to learn, and it's going to be never ending to learn. But a little bit of sales still make a big difference in what you're trying to do and why you resell. Like today and other days, I was thinking about people get discouraged about like, oh, Sonny sold this prosthetic leg that he got for $15 for $400, and you're like, oh, congratulations, that's amazing. And then it comes around after a while when you're seeing so much good, and you start making it harder on yourself mentally, and just focus on your own goals a little. For you, actually, may be a lot for some people. When I think a year and a half ago, around January, actually last year, or even this year. I think it was this year, January, just went it pummeled all the way down, rock bottom. And it went even further than that, like down into the clay. And with that, I was like, man, this week sucks. And then it turned into 2 weeks and then into a month, to where I think it was around 2 months. I had no sales. I had no idea what was going on, but I kept doing what people say. Just continue listing. I wasn't buying any more stuff because I have a lot of stuff to list. So I was like, if I'm not making any sales, why am I going to buy more? Let me figure out what's going on. And I think it was more like eBay's in, because after that 2 months or 2.5 months of no sales, no offers, no nothing, and I wasn't sending out either. I was just trying to figure things out. Boom, things started taking off. A couple of sales here, a couple of sales there, and then the full-time reselling, where I started thinking about like Danny and things Mikey finds, and Rosie going out with them, and Angel out to the bins, what they find. I started realizing I could do better sourcing, find less items, list less, save a lot more time, and find the value in that as well. So it's not always about 40 sales a day. It's amazing if you're doing that. But we all have different things that we come across, different things are available to us in the area that we're in. Sometimes there's just not that much stuff available, and you got to make do with what you have, but also still be selective in what you get and understand what you're finding and if it's worth reselling, and not just trying to force something to work because of being desperate. Because I say that because I've been there. I was trying to force sales, and like, oh, if somebody sold this one item for $20 and I could get it for $6. It's great if I could sell it, but a lot of times I was forcing these things, and I didn't understand about sell through rate, and I didn't understand things like how to look actually what sold. I just saw listings. I was really new to reselling for a long time, and little things like looking up comps and then seeing the sell through rate and understanding that has made things a lot smoother and a lot easier to, when I buy stuff, I know if it's worth it or not. And some things may be a long sell, and a lot of things are worth holding on to if it's very valuable. Even if what did I have the other day? The other day, what did I share? Oh, the $1,300 camera that sold to somebody here locally. So I had an offer about 2 weeks before that for 800. I bought this camera along with another piece that needed to go to it, that I felt I needed to buy to make it a complete package, to where it's like, okay, if I buy this, I don't need to hunt this part from somebody else. I bought that part for $80 when it could resell for like 150 to 250. The camera I got for I think $120 and was offered 800 after probably like 4 months of having it listed. And I felt like I'll take 1,200. The person never counter offered, and it expired. And then all of a sudden, a few weeks later, this local gentleman who's starting his own business was like, "Hey, can I buy it in person? I'll buy it here on eBay," and it's been good. Money is mine, so now I get to go shopping tomorrow. But little things go a long way. There's a lot of different variations or variants to why we buy things and why we don't. And 5 sales, your 5 sales, your 6 sales could be more than what my 20 sales have been for like the month. I've had more sales than that, but don't take away from a little because a little goes a long way. Is what I'm trying to say. Jody, Crystal, I want to set up a lunch shopping date with you soon. Oh, there you go, Crystal. While Jody and Crystal are having a lunch date, me, Mikey Bags of Money, and Angel could have a mandate. Oh, y'all get that one? A mandate? It's mandatory. I'm a moron. Good luck picking peaches. I just started my channel too. Did you, Kay? Yeah, Kay. Kay, do I have you? I think I do. Give me a second. I'm gonna look up right now. You still alive? Sorry, Carrie. Did you just send this? Sorry, my dude. I put it on vibrate. But Kay, I think I have you. I think I'm following you. Kay, no, I'm not. That I was. All right, I got you now, Kay. What's up, Rita? Oh, what's up, Chris? Chris, I was gonna message you today. Now I was like, nah, I'm last minute. I'm last minute. I shouldn't message you, but I'm maybe next week if you're not too busy. I am curious about your new location because I know you left the other one about a month or two ago. If if it's been 2 months ago, maybe shorter. But I hope you're doing well, my dude. A rural squirrel, Mikey. Scully. Lizette is great. Lizette is great. We know her well. Awesomeness. Everybody always guesses Angie. What was it, Angie? Angie is a sweetie. I like Angie. She had a really good live when she was on. Gives information. She's well. Her auctions are doing really well too. She's doing they're growing and growing. Her as well as I haven't seen Kim on lately. Retro Respect, and then Ella. I see Ella daily. She is a freaking workaholic. I always peek in and try to learn what she's doing because her titles are pretty good to where if you want to learn what she's looking at, she's also telling you what they're worth for the most part. And it's really good because there's a lot of stuff I need to learn, especially jewelry. Jewelry is one I really want to learn more about. But something about jewelry videos, sometimes the information is not there. Like it's like people are talking to people who already understand jewelry rather than somebody like me who doesn't understand. And I think that's a good thing to consider all the time is teaching people because that little teaching goes a long way to where it's like, hey, thank you for your time. I really like what you have and I'm going to buy it because now you taught them something that's more valuable than what they're going to buy because they're going to carry forward with it and learn and apply. Learn and apply. Conditions and braid it. Oh yeah, I donated $4.99. I was like, I should have probably donated like $20 for like a good conditioner. Don says, "Hi, Christian." She's watching Sons of Anarchy. Uh that was another topic of Sons of Anarchy that went everywhere, which was fun. Hi, ASP baby. Love that show. Who that? Does that Carrie message me again? Oh, Carrie's eating. I'll do it next time. I'm watching. Carrie's a busy person, man. Him and Don, busy, busy, busy. Red Cardinal Treasures, Cash Flow Fam, Mikey. Look at that. All the cash people. What's up, Mikey? Literally, also want to set up Sonny and Mikey thrift outing. Yes. And I've been wanting to do that. And then, first of all, how was yours and Britton's venture out at the thrift con? Thrift con? What was it? Was it thrift con? What was that? That was just here in Vegas. I wanted to go, and I even tried to get Carrie to go, but we both knew we had to invest in listing stuff that we have, and I got a lot of stuff. I haven't seen what Carrie has, but if he says he got to get a listing and he's behind, I believe it. Very active here in Las Vegas, all over the place, not just with content, but him and Don, I would say, list the most because he tells me that. I'm not saying to assume. Carrie actually tells me that. But I'm down, Jody. I am downsies. And I think that'll be good too for your video because I know you talked about that on List Perfectly was like, how do you get started? And sometimes I wouldn't do you like Crystal said they did her friend was like, yeah, go live, I'll go live with you. And then you're there by yourself. I thought that was hilarious, but sometimes you need to set up people in a good way like that. A lot of times people will look at you and say, you got it. Like we were telling you, Jody, like you got it. Like just do it if you want to. You don't need to if you don't want to. But if you want to do it, I think it would be really good to have an intro. Like I've been telling people, I've been recommending for new resellers, or if you want to start fresh on the channel and you feel like your videos are a little downwind and dead and is not catching any views or anything, do an intro video, be active in the community, be supportive, and just let people get to know you in there. And when the time comes up to be like, hey, I have a YouTube channel, like I'm going to ask you all right now, who all has a YouTube channel reselling or whatever has it? Who has one? And how much followers do you have? And on top of that, after this live, go inside to the actual comments of the video, not in a live chat, and say, I have a YouTube channel of whatever it is. How much subs you got if you want to add that. So that way people know. And for those who are watching this at this point, understand like, hey, they need a channel that needs to grow. And if it's something we enjoy, we'll follow if it pertains to us. But there are some things where people don't follow me. They'll come over, but they're not following me. And it's kind of unique that way, but it's still supportive. So people give in eventually. I just need to smile more and probably do more hair flips. We got Danielle in the house. So many sellers live right now. How you doing, Sonny? Daniel, I'm doing good. There is a lot of lives now on Thursdays when it used to be only myself. And I think no, I think it's been me and Junior Marv, who have been live for some time, and now more people are like before, during, and after. But there's no rules of that stuff. You could start it at the same time as mine. You could start it at the same time as other people. But that's YouTube for you. There's millions of people that are on here who are actively sharing content or going live or just using it for just entertainment and to learn off, of course. But there's no rules for it, so no malice. We all got something to give and take from, to learn from. Oh my God, what a great name, Yardsa. Yeah, if you haven't followed Danielle, another good one too. And she finds some really cool freaking stuff. And I like when she shares things like the mullet contest, like the hair mullet. That was freaking hilarious. I loved it. And then I think she messaged that she had to take it off because she shared one that was like I guess a little blurry. So she shared the more cleaner version, I guess. But it was freaking awesome. I loved it. And people were like doing that high kick, like the little heel tap. And when guys do it, it's just funny, especially when we're a little hefty trying to get off the ground. It's like you didn't even get off the ground. But her son did it, and the mullets competitions are serious types of talk, people. Like it's you laugh and joke at it, but it is serious business when it comes to mullets. Those competitions are fierce. And for those in Las Vegas, I was coming home today, driving from the gym. I've been exercising lately, may not tell, trying to hide all my goodies down here under the screen, but there's gonna be a taco fest. So there's usually a foodie fest, but there's a taco fest coming up in the beginning of November, and they're gonna have a taco eating contest. And one person I was thinking about trying to get in there with me, it's Mikey Bags of Money. He tells me how good he could eat, but I'm like, okay, how good can he eat? And I is not you shouldn't want to eat more than the other person, but for something like a taco eating competition, I think that would be pretty fun to share and some of the videos and just share with one another. So, ladies and gents here in Las Vegas, check out the Taco Fest 2022. It was amazing. ThriftCon. Yes, ThriftCon. That's what it was. I wish you could have come. I wanted to go. I really did, but I wanted to go more to look at what it all entails to maybe be a vendor myself next year. So I there's a lot of things I want to do, and I look at it as opportunities to meet people and also let them know who I am. Like today, I went to um uh Yods. It's like Yods patties. They have these amazing Jamaican beef patties that was out at the Boston Reseller Remix. When I seen them and saw Jamaican beef patty, I was like, please let this be as good or just as close as good as the ones I've had years ago. And I've been trying to search for this for some time. So when I bought one, I took a bite and I said, give me two more. So I ended up getting three total. That's what Mikey had. If y'all watch his live stream there at the Boston Remix, he took a little piece from me, even though I was trying to give him a whole one. And I felt really sleepy afterwards. I had the itis, a little connect attack, as they say out in Hawaii, the Aina. Itis and connect attack are like the same thing, just different terms, different jargons. And ever since then, I've been following him on Instagram. I went out there today and I probably shouldn't share this with you because it's like when you see it in the video, you're like, oh, I've seen this. You hear about it, you've seen it a million times afterwards. So I ended up buying three Jamaican beef patties. One was after a special menu. So on Instagram, I said, hey, I'm coming over. And they're like, well, remind me when you come here off the secret menu. And I was like, oh, I made it that far to where I was able to get the secret menu, folks. Sunny Las Vegas is secret menu badge is right on my chest. I wear it proudly. It's invisible, but you can't see it, but I can see it. So I got this secret menu uh Jamaican patty, has assortments and stuff, and then I got an oxtail uh Jamaican beef patty, and then their classic original just beef patty, and that's my favorite. So next to him, as I'm ordering, I'm seeing this gentleman kind of like swaying, like, oh man, like nobody's coming over to my spot. He looks a little shy, and I'm like, I've been there. I was like, what you got over here? So as I'm waiting for my food there, he's like, I have like this really healthy type of fried chicken strips, and I'm just like, oh, what is it called? And he was like, Vegas strips. He just started, and I was like, you know what? I'll take it. Kristen Rosegirl just hit 5,000 subs. Nice, Kristen. Congrats. So I I asked him, I was like, I'll take it, man. So he was charging $10 for a plate, chicken strips, his own sauce that he had. He calls it dope sauce, even though it's not like that. He just thinks it's fire that way, that it's amazing that he calls it dope sauce. But he's saying his wife didn't want him to name it that because of dope. But I was like, no, this is some dope sauce. This is fire. Use it, you know. So he did. So I was his first customer to have purchased something from, and he was really excited, throwing his hands around. He's like, "Oh man, you're my first customer ever!" And I was like today, and he was like, "No, ever. I just started." And I was just like, "Oh man, congrats!" So I just now started following him, and I'm going to share it in a video because right next to him, like I said, I was only get the Jamaican beef patties. I get three beef patties, and then I get chicken strips, and then next to him, I hear this gentleman say, "Blueberries." So for me, blueberries is a key fruit of yumminess to my taste buds that make my mouth water even saying it. And if it's a good blueberry taste, I know I'm not going to be the only one that loves it. And I'm not talking about my wife. Me and my mother-in-law have like the same taste buds. We like a lot of the same things. So I knew she was going to be happy with it. When I brought it home, she was like, "Oh, is this for your for Carla? Because she has a potluck tonight at her job. One of her coworkers, Natalie, a friend of ours, it's her birthday." So I was like, no, this isn't for Carla. This is for here at the house. So she's about to ask me, saying, Sonny, can I have one? But she already had one like in her mouth eating it. And I was just cracking up. I'm like, yeah, it's like, I know the way and what you like. So I was like, go ahead and have some. But before that, before I came home and Dola, my mother-in-law, got some of the pastries, I had to go get a smog check and I had to go get the registration sticker for my wife's car because it was going to expire today. We didn't get the notice. I just happened to look at her sticker on her car and remembered, like, hey, every October around this time, Carla's registration is due, and it was due yesterday. So not today, I was actually due yesterday. So I was like, uh-oh. So I'm like, babe, give me the keys. I gotta go. So I was in a rush to do that on top of what I was saying, getting this food. So when I went to go get the smog check, there's this big, like burly dude, and he's just like, what's up? He looks like Sasquatch. I was like, are you hungry? He squints his eyes, and I go, man, I was like, I got some food. I know I'm not gonna eat it, but I wanted to support some vendors because it looked really good, and I knew I had to come here, so I was hoping that you were hungry, whoever was here. And he was like, I was actually just looking at leaving, like shutting down for a moment to go get some food. So he got some free food, and then I gave him some of the pastries, and he was like, "This is really unexpected." I was cracking up, and I'm like, "It's just the way I work, dude." And he was like, "You gave me a discount, right?" And I was just like, I think I did. Like my memory is crap. Like I think you gave me a discount, but I knew what he was saying. I was just joking with it. So he ended up giving me a discount, but that difference of the discount, I ended up just giving him a tip from it. So rather than taking the discount, I just gave it back to him in cash as a tip. So he was a really cool dude, and I don't know. I just like doing stuff like that, folks. How I make money and how I survive financially, I don't know. Just off of feeling good. That's that's how I pay life off. Just smile and move on. But yeah, Kristen, congratulations, 5,000 subs. The way I read it just right now on the screen, from Rob, everybody, Junk Monkey, Rob Junk Monkey is now starting lives. He is doing really good, I would say, and people are coming over and they're already asking him like, did you go over the bolos and other information that he's doing? So off the bat already, that's really good, Rob. Keep doing what you're doing, and you just start to get more comfortable with yourself. I know that you are, but at first you could see like a little nervousness, and I still get that way. Even when I come on, even though it's my own channel and I've probably been doing it for some time now, I still get butterflies. But that's only a sign that you care, and you care about what you're doing, you care who you are, and also what you're bringing to the table. And you just never know with the chat. Sometimes it could be vicious, like squirrels, like this one and Cheryl. Just kidding, but other times it's just really helpful and supportive, and also the questions that come in and information that you share and how you lift people up, and vice versa, how people in the chat can lift us up as well. Flower Goddess 28 used to be one of my football numbers. I used to be a running back and a fullback. Hey, Sonny, met you at the Benz a couple of weeks ago. I like your pigeon accent. I lived in Maui for 13 years. She remind me of Hawaii, miss it so much. Aloha, mahalo, Flower Goddess 28. I'll be there in November. Um, Thanksgiving. I can't wait. Can't wait to go over there. It's gonna be some really big waves too during the winter time. There in Hawaii, whatever island you go to, the waves are pretty humongous. Especially Pipeline out in North Shore. Those waves are just like, it's like you're looking up like this, but it's far out. I wasn't trying to do a Hitler on y'all right there. Lizette, what? 330? Girl, I thought you had more than that. But we're gonna work on that, folks. Go give Lizette some love, folks. Loves and support. She's super supportive in the community. She at one point, I was like, I feel like I owed her money or something, because like every few seconds she was sharing stuff that I was posting, and it was unexpected, just selflessness of what she does. And I think that says a lot about people when they like somebody and they're just like giving of putting out stuff. And it's as simple as sharing a post from somebody is not simple to do that too. Like there's a lot more meaningful things that people look at, and people to be like, I want to do this because they want to. And it's not like I have a million subscribers to be like, I want to try to get in his good graces. To me, it's not that I'm nobody. I feel like I'm somebody, and I feel like I'm who I'm supposed to be now compared to who wished I was like now in the past, who I wasn't. If that didn't blow your minds up right there, but I got my own struggles. And Lizette, I appreciate you, and we got to get you on this live. I've invited you before, and if that time opens up for Thursdays, Even if we got to change the time, I will do that time for you. But you are an amazing person, Lizette. I have 3 degrees, everybody. So, ladies and gents, put a hand emoji or any emoji, at least 2 or 3 of them, to pertain to this question I'm going to give you. How much of y'all already knew Carrie American Arbitrage has some degrees? And I don't mean like a fever or anything. He's pretty healthy right now, but he has 3 degrees. And the reason why I say this, so I'm one of the moderators on their Trash to Cash, and they do joke with Carrie and other people, and they open themselves up that way. But some things I take personal, and somebody had a comment or a post of Carrie having 3 degrees, but the way they made it sound was really rude to me. Like I took it really offensive, and it wasn't funny to where I blocked them, folks. I'm putting myself out there. I blocked them. I was like, delete, block, and anybody who they try to recommend, rejected, automatic. You're not gonna mess with my friends, folks. It's just the way you come across. There's different ways of funny, and then there's some where it's like you're just being an ass. You're being a cola. You're being a okole, and I don't like that. Unless y'all do, but it still doesn't make me like that. I have 90 subs. All right, I'm gonna do this now, folks. I'm gonna look down, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I'm gonna go on here, and I do my best to keep up with people, and sometimes I don't leave comments, but I do watch, and I know people like my wife do it all the time. So okay, there you say 90, and I see. Well, I'm already subscribed actually. Cash flow. Target Freight, our first truckload of merchandise, 25 pallets.
What's cracking, YouTube? Just got a call from my wife that our wholesalers letting us know that the truck's being delivered in an hour. Pick up this freight. So here's our first freight. That's cash flow, fam. We are back. We're waiting for the truck. Here's what we did.
That's a lot. That's a lot of stuff. I'm already intrigued. Folks. Cash flow fam, familia, ohana. I'm already following you, my friend. Red Cardinal. I said an hour ago I was gonna be done, but I'm not. I get into my mind, and I gotta let stuff go. I need to get back into doing videos. Only did 16 vids, but just can't seem to get in the groove of taping when I'm thrifting, etc. There's little things that have helped me um capture content when I'm outsourcing. One of them has been huge, has been the lanyard. It's something simple. I wear it on my chest. The magnet is really strong. I don't move really fast, anyways. It's not like in thrift stores and places like you're in a rush to looking at things and it bounces the camera around. I got a little chest. I got a little meat on my chest. So with that, if I kind of like move too fast, it bounces. You don't do that when you're on the rack. So consider getting something that frees up both hands. And I got this lanyard because Jimmy had one when he came down about a year ago over here. He had one. I was like, man, that's genius. I don't want to wear the one that I had that looks more like a bra. Like it feels like a bra to me. And I'm like, people are seeing my moves through this like harness type chest thing. And I don't like it. You can see my caterpillar rolls in the back. And I wasn't comfortable, even though I could get good footage. I wasn't comfortable. But Jimmy had one, and I'm like, man, I'm getting that one. And ever since, that's been a lot easier. I just click on it, and when I go into a place like say a store, and I don't need to wear it or have anything, I could either leave it in the truck or put it in my pocket. If I'm ever at a vendor who's like, hey, I don't want you recording, or somebody feels uncomfortable that I could visually witness, I'm very considerate, and I just either put the screen down so they could automatically see like what am I recording? You know, my kneecaps? I can't even see my kneecaps. It's probably the ground. So either that or I put it inside my pocket. So that's really good to help. You don't have to be in front of the camera. Kathy is one of them. I haven't seen her in a while. She's doing well. Other than her videos, I've been seeing her videos. She's a dumpster diver. And I think Uncle B and Brandon, Grab It Fast, had a live together last night, yesterday. So I need to go back and watch that. Uncle B gives really good advice. He's like a big uncle. I call him Uncle B. It's not his name on there. But Living with Big B, I believe is what his username is. But I've been following both of them for a while, and it's just really nice. Free up both hands, just have something on your chest to record, or even sometimes I just have where I'm like looking at the racks, sourcing through them, but I leave my phone inside the cart but pile up like a little bit of apparel that I've already picked or an object to where the camera's kind of recording me at a distance. Because you could do voiceovers. Voiceovers are fun. And this is one thing I'd recommend if you're going to do voiceovers that has helped me a lot is rather than looking at like one clip of your edit and trying to focus on that one clip, let it play through a few seconds even afterwards to see what the next clip is going to be. So that way you could talk into about that one clip and run it into the next clip. And then when it's like there's not really something you want to focus on, and it's kind of like a B-roll, just pop in some music for a few seconds, not too long, because then all of a sudden it feels like the video is ending. And one thing I learned inside videography is that you never want to leave the camera fully. And even when I'm showing something and my hands are coming out of the screen, you're only going to catch like maybe even like a split right here. Like, let me get rid of this to explain. So, like when my hands are coming down with an item, you never want to lose the item like that. You want to have like right where it's about to cut off and to the next screen to where something's coming up and it's grabbing. You never want to leave completely even your hands because that's what we look at too. Is not just with our eyes. We look at people's hands and what they have in there, and we're trying to learn more about that item, especially looking around when the things has a little bit more words to say about something. But those little things go a long way. A long way. There's more to videos than what people think that could really make a difference. I got to scroll down to that. I see it on the main screen on YouTube. Okay, I see the bra. Is the bra good for me? Do I need a bra? Would that be good for me? Is that what you're saying? I'm so sub. I'm so sub to my nibby. Cheryl, I'm going. I'm going to shut my computer down and get bed. Steve is still sick. Well, I wish him well, Cheryl. I wish him well. Sometimes that stuff is hard to go through. Get some fresh air. That's one thing that I find when I'm under the weather is not just being inside a room to where it's just the same dirty air that's floating around with germs. Open a window, clear out the air, step outside, stretch out a little bit if you can, and then fluids. Eat something even if it's little by little. Sweet dreams, everybody. Sweet dreams, Cheryl. That's exactly why I don't wear a GoPro. I don't like having obnoxious right on my chest for people to stare at. So that's when people don't really look like they'll look at it, but it's not like, well, maybe it'll be different for you, Kristen, because you're not a little taller than me. You're a lot taller than me, so it might be eye level because I'm a shorty. But I get it. But you don't have to wear it on your chest. That thing you could wear like over on your shoulder. It's a really good strong magnet. The one I have. I should probably do like an affiliate and a little review about it too. Just get some of that moolah in. And as of today, folks, I did what TJ Love Lady said to do. That's been recommending me to do this, and not just me, everybody else, but also Carrie American Arbitrage. She's been like, Sonny and Dawn. Dawn, last time I seen both of them together, she was asking like, did you get monetized yet on Facebook? And I was like, nope. She's like, I've been seeing your reels. Just wait for it. And about an hour before going live, I got the notice on Facebook to get that I'm monetized. So I filled out the information, and I'm going to look over some of the rules just to be more aware of things of what to do, not to do. Not that I don't think I'm doing anything that I shouldn't be doing, but you just never know. It's an opportunity to grow even more and more and more. Never been asked why I'm filming. I've been asked why I'm filming, but it's more of the question like, what do you record for? Like their curiosity is more of like, what do you do it for? What do you share? I've told people when I play with them. One lady, I was with Jimmy. Um, that was the first time she asked me. She was like, "So what's that on you?" And I was like, "Oh, it's just for me to capture how beautiful you are. So when I go back home, I could keep watching it, in loop." And it sounds creepy as hell, but she started laughing, and it was just like something that came out of my mouth. And she was like, "Oh, okay," and that was it. And her next question was, "Oh, you want to go inside? I got more stuff." And she was like, "Just go down to the basement." And next thing she said was like, "He puts the lotions on the skins." I love saying that. It's never happened, but she had some really good stuff that sold right away. And that was the first place I ended up finding. What was it? Well, Jimmy found it. It was the depression glass. It was a bowl. And Sal, who might be popping in at the last second, Sal Mercados, who is another great channel, a great guy, who was like, Sonny, I want to buy it. And he bought it. And when he sent me a picture of his collection of his depression glowy glass, it was like, wow, that's freaking amazing. So Laura, I see that on YouTube's video, but I'm not seeing it on this end to highlight it. Uh, envisioning Sonny with the wooden hoops. I'm trying to. Where is it at? It's not showing up on the StreamYard side. Uh, even at the bottom, like I went all the way down. It's not showing up on StreamYard sites. Yes, please asked my info me. Congrats. Glowy glass. Uranium, yeah. Yeah, it was so depressed. It wasn't glowing in the daylight. Did you miss me? Who this? Had to go pick up Rachel from horseback riding. Oh wow, that late or this late? Well, it's not really late, it's just dark. Danny, always miss you. You're all right in my book, Danny. And I will see you tomorrow. I'll scoop you up. Is Noah going tomorrow? He needs to get rest. Last time he was super sleepy. I had to bust him out. I had to bust his chops. It's in the sticker area. Don't know why. I see it on YouTube's end, but isn't for some reason today it's not showing it on StreamYard because usually on StreamYard it shows me what's there. I mean, I see your comments. I always say if I win the lottery, I would be a professional student. I love it when you give advice like that because I do it all. I do all those mistakes. We all make mistakes, folks. It's just some people's mistakes. Tolerance is like those are mistakes. Like this bad stuff is a mistake. Different levels. Nice, Laura. I learned a lot in school. It really teaches you how to think critically. I love college and might have stayed if I could. I was challenging Carrie. We were talking about video content with Jimmy too when he was here and Don, and we're saying like, well, I said it. I'm gonna take the credit for this. I was like, how about you do a video of speaking nothing but Spanish when you're thrifting, like at the best place to do it would be like at the flea market. It's not so much to get people's reactions, but to show a side of content that people I don't think would realize that's really good to have. You know, people wanting to learn and communicate with others, and it is a community. Resellers is one thing; vendors are also resellers, and they let us in a lot more now lately. And I think Danny could agree because there's been some that were like, "Don't record over here," and then sometime later they're like, "Hey, hey, hey," calling us by name. Where's your friend at? Where's Danny? Where's Sonny? Where's Mikey? And it's pretty cool because it's. I think people are going over there to these people. This started with Art of Resell, who I will proudly credit and strongly credit that if it wasn't for him putting not so much on the map, but sharing what he's finding was like, I'm missing out on opportunities for myself. I need to get out there too. And part of what I've been saying was meeting the community and being a part of it. And I've done that. And the flea market has been amazing to where some people that weren't liking us recording are now welcoming us to record there at the flea market. Okay, I see that one. Why is it not? Lizette says, I appreciate you, Sonny. I like you in that way. Love helping when I can. I've been in the chats for years, but started my videos about a year ago. Yeah, Poshmark, I know you're big on, and that's one thing I do want to learn more of. And it's not like it's hard. It's just little things that I want to know about that I'm not thinking about that I'm pretty sure you're aware of that would help me go a long way. And if there's ever anything, you and anybody else that have questions that you know that I'm familiar with, feel free to ask. drop some questions down below. Would I be able to answer them all at once? No, but the good thing about communicating, especially in comments under videos, other people get to see it and can answer it probably even better than what I could. So it's a good way with these chats. It's really nice. Yeah, I still don't see that comment, Laura. Like I see it, member 3 months, and it's just not popping up on StreamYards. And yeah, give me a second, folks. I'm gonna do something right now, and then we're gonna pop over on Ginger Marv's if somebody doesn't beat me to it. There it is. It's already highlighted. Is that in there? All right. So that link I just put in is maybe because it's free. No, it's used. I've seen it before. It's popped up. I'm just not sure why today it's not doing it. Could be my internet. But that link I just put in is for Ginger Marv, Chris and Kathy, and probably Reese is laying down one of their dog. Really cool to look at. Art of Riso is awesome. Yeah, he is a really good guy. Really, his videos is like that. Him in person when we were there with him, he's like bam, 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 bam. It's like Pac-Man when the ghosts are chasing him. But that's how he finds like the ghosts are the items that he's hunting. And that was pretty cool too that I said that because it wasn't Pac-Man, it was Super Mario Kart that he did like a little skit in. It's pretty amazing things that he's doing on YouTube. But head over to Ginger Marv's. I'm going to go over there after I log off here, and I'm going to get to listing, but also be there in their chat. So tell them SonnyLasVegas sent you. His Mario video was amazing. Yeah, very amazing. Really cool, really clean, really crisp. And he told us about it, but the way he told us, like, he was like, oh, I just can't tell you, but you'll see it. And it wasn't that he was trying to hide it from us. It was just wording it, I guess. It was like his excitement. He couldn't let it out. Everyone, thanks, Sonny, and everyone for the company. You're welcome, Danielle. If you're not following Danielle either, folks, really good person to learn from. She comes across some amazing things, especially out there sourcing, works her butt off too. And she'll be here on the live sometime. I've invited her to, but that's when they had that big 127 sale or whatever it was. She was busy at the time. So I'll have her on as well as Lizette sometime and get some more people on here who I enjoy and appreciate and learn from as well that I know you could too. So head on over to Ginger Marv's because I'm about to head over there right now. Let me put in the link. A couple of times, give you a few minutes to catch up on the link. So I'm about to head over myself. Rob, you are welcome, my friend. Keep doing what you're doing. You're very knowledgeable. I would like to learn more about watches. Even I know you're super knowledgeable at Rolex watches. I don't think I'll come across them often, but if I do, I know to hit you up. But if there's other things to look out for that are probably more common to look for, watches and things like that, I see them all the time. I just don't know what to look for. So I would like to see some of that stuff too. But I'm glad you started your lives as well. I think it's anybody can go live and be consistent at it, have a set day, have a set time, and people look forward to it. And is also a place where I could go and enjoy the chat from the chat side, like you are here, which I hope you enjoy what I do, folks. Night, Daddy. Night, Danny. Sweet dreams. Got some sweet dreams up in here. Sleepy tidy tidy. All right, folks, I'm going to go over to Ginger Marv's. I'll see y'all over in there. Tell them I said I sent you. And good night. Well, I'll see you over there. But for those who aren't going, good night, my friends.